Hi there, my name is Marco, and this is one of my Unreal Tournament maps. It's called Inverno. In this video, I'll talk about what went into making it, and why I think that it's a cool map to play. The main design goal that I tried to achieve with this map was creating a large space that requires teamwork and appropriate equipment to get across. The experience was inspired by old war shooters where platoons worked together and fell in large numbers. I accomplished this by creating wide stretches of high exposure areas to make the space too lethal to take on alone, as well as incentivizing coordinated assaults. And also by placing the majority of useful pickups near the flag bases, which compels players to prepare for the cross. Most spawn positions are, as expected, around the flag bases. Useful pickups are found often and quickly in these areas, which help prepare players to take on an assault across the field. Beyond that, they're placed in such a way that many viable exit path variations are possible. This combats the issue that many shooters have where the first few seconds after respawning feel too repetitive and restrictive. As you can see, the field is sprawling and daunting. In order to get across safely, players will either funnel towards the sides of the field, which isn't always a great idea. The other path across is right through the center of the map. These bots, bless them for trying, may not best illustrate this, but against real human opponents you're best off taking this path with friendlies nearby so as not to have all opposing fire targeted solely at you. I'll take this opportunity to talk about something pretty important that I didn't mention earlier. That is, the fact that there are 2 flags per team on this map, 2 red and 2 blue. Having 4 total flags to manage allows players to take on the responsibility of tracking the objective for the rest of their team instead of just pursuing it themselves, which makes for some unique gameplay dynamics. With respect to the flags themselves, I applied the general rule of providing at least 3 exits from the flag room, and accented each of them with a different risk profile. In determining the risk of the exits, I considered overall exposure level, the time to exposure, and proximity to helpful pickups. This was actually easy to do since I had already designed the opposite effect to some degree, for players spawning into the castle. Altogether, these concepts work towards creating the experience that I briefly touched upon earlier. That is, the platoon of old war soldiers fighting in a deadly battlefield. One of the main challenges in making this map was maintaining a believable space that suits my design goal while accommodating for Unreal Tournament's agile movement mechanics, such as jump pads, lift pads, and the translocator's teleportation ability. In terms of process, my workflow and tasks were determined by the design goals. I thought about what it would take to make crossing the battlefield a compelling moment. First, I determined that the map would need a main funnel-type exit into the battlefield where the player would transition from a tight space into a wide open one. I figured that the contrast in the scope of the space could make for a breathtaking moment for the player. The next objective that I worked towards was constructing the field itself. I worked additively, trying to find a composition of level components that had the least amount of cover possible so as to satisfy the level of lethality that I wanted, while also being fun for people to play casually in. Finally, I playtested to taste, and found that adding some vertical elements and more points of access to the flag made for more Unreal Tournament appropriate gameplay. Making this map was a lot of fun, and along the job I got much better at crafting a space in the service of the intended experience. Thanks to tons of playtesting, working off of real-world reference, and a commitment to the goal, I think I pulled off what I was going for. Thanks for watching, and please feel free to take a look at the rest of my work.